That is the main thing. That's been weighing heavy on my heart for years now. That being in Potosi Correctional Center where they were doing the executions, that I had faith in the state and I had faith in the legal justice system that these guys who were executed actually deserved what they were getting. That in order to protect society and for the families of the victims, it had to go all the way to execution. So they were actually executing killers. But I do not believe that Dennis Skillicorn is the same person they convicted. That the state of Missouri does not have a formal program of rehabilitation. But if I was to look up that word in the dictionary, I'd probably see Dennis Skillicorn's picture. I truly believe he is not the same man who committed the crimes.
And Dennis, to me, is a truly changed person. I mean, I've seen him for, 13, 15 years. I don't know how many years it's been. I've been a volunteer at Potosi Correctional Center, I think, for like 16 years. I think I started like 3 years after it opened. I think that would be about 16. I'm really bad at chronology. But, and I've known Dennis almost that whole time. And I've seen him in an office working among people, and I've seen him a lot when I used to come down here 2 and 3 times a week and all day, and I'd be around him. And I think, that, judging from what I hear other men say, what I hear the guards say, how I see people treat him, how I see him in his movement around the prison, he could not be faking it all these years. There had been something that would have pushed his button, and there have been people would have seen. But
just from his attitude, that I saw in hospice, he's on the right wavelength, from a spirituality standpoint, because it's not about him, it's about those inmates that are suffering and dying. And now, he's on the brink of that, and there's no way we can reach out to him. All of those hospice volunteers, they give their right arm if they can go and sit with him for 2 hours, 24/7 until his day, but can't do that.
It's going to be a loss for more than Potosi. I know as a staff member, I'm not supposed to call these people friends, but if I were permitted to use a term for my relationship with Dennis, it would probably be friend. And I know his family's going to be much worse off if he was gone. And yeah, the population as a whole at Potosi is going to suffer without Dennis Skillicorn.
It's really a hard subject to talk about, to decide. I know there's guys that deserve to die. I think that probably the death penalty is appropriate for certain people. What I see, no, I'm against him dying. I'm against any man that I know they're dying that has shown a real sign of change in their life. Well, anytime a man is proficient at speaking to other men about how to live a better life and showing them how to live a better life, when you kill that man, it's like you saying, we don't want a better life for anybody. Let's do away with the way out for these people. I think that the work that he's does there, shows people that there is a better way to live their life. It doesn't have to be crime on the streets.
The reason why I'm here talking with you is because I feel like that he can do our society more good alive than he can dead. And I'm not taking away anything of his crime, and I'm not involved with that, so I'm not talking. But he can have such a positive influence on those other inmates. When you keep those inmates happy and thinking positive you've got a happier home out there. And when those inmates get disgruntled, that's when you have problems. And Dennis is a role model, and he's also a confidant to those individuals. And I personally, I just shudder at the thought of him not being there because of such an impact that he has on the other inmates. They look up to him, they respect him, and you know, it's just one of those things that we need that out there. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you've got some bad eggs, if you will, or bad apples, and they can destroy the whole complex out there. You need some positive role models, and he is definitely one of the better positive role models. And so I feel that it would do our society a lot of good not to execute him. Now I'm very conscious of the fact that he's been before a number of juries, a number of judges and counselors and all that, and they say that he needs to be there. And I'm not disputing that. But I'd like for him to stay there.
Dennis's attitude was great. He made me cry. I cry a little bit whenever my friends I know are in trouble. And I went in and talked to him, and he lifted me up. And we had prayer together, and we both prayed. He prayed and I prayed. Not for save Dennis from the execution or nothing like that. We prayed for the ministries that are in the prison and the things that he helped get started. He wasn't crying over what his future may hold. I hope it doesn't hold that, but he wasn't crying over that. What he was is hoping that maybe he's touched some other lives that